Welcome to the Explainer. In the world of AI, the entire conversation is shifting. We're moving beyond chatbots that just help you do things to AI agents that can actually do things for you. And it's not just hype anymore. This is real strategy. In this Explainer, we're going to break down exactly what that means.
So here's what we're going to cover. First, why agent adoption is absolutely exploding right now. Then, we'll get real clear on the simple difference between an agent and an assistant. We'll walk through 3 different ways to think about them, explore what's next with multi-agent systems, and then wrap up with what you need to do to get ready for this future today.
Okay, let's just dive right in. The whole idea of AI agents, it's not exactly new. But them showing up in the mainstream, that is. The question for businesses is no longer if they should use them, but how fast they can get them up and running.
And the answer to how fast is, well, it's unbelievably fast. I mean, just look at this data from a recent KPMG survey. In a single quarter, the number of companies piloting agents almost doubled. But here's the kicker. The number of companies with agents in full production tripled in 6 months. Tripled. This isn't some gradual change. It's a full-on land rush.
So let's be really clear about what this chart is telling us. 90% of organizations are already done with the what-if stage. This isn't about gazing into the future anymore. Understanding AI agents is now a strategic must-have for right now.
Okay, so with all this momentum, it is absolutely essential that we're all on the same page. What do we even mean when we say agent? There are a million technical definitions floating around out there, but let's just cut through all that noise.
The simplest, most useful way to think about this is assistants are AI that you use to do stuff. Think of a co-pilot that helps you write an email. Agents, on the other hand, are AI that do stuff for you. You give them a goal, and they go figure out the steps to get it done, a lot of times without you looking over their shoulder. It's really the difference between a helpful tool and an autonomous teammate.
All right, so now that we've got that core definition down, let's get a little more specific, because understanding the different types of agents is totally key to figuring out your strategy. So we're going to look at 3 different frameworks to help you do just that.
First up, let's look at agents from an engineer's point of view. Focusing on how they actually work under the hood. This way of thinking sorts them by their internal mechanics and what they're capable of doing.
So at the most basic level, you have what are called simple reflex agents. You can just think of these as pure if-then machines. If they see a trigger, like say the words password reset in a chat window, they do one pre-programmed thing. That's it. They react, but they don't plan, and they don't remember anything.
Now take that a step further and you get goal-based agents. Here, we're moving past just simple reactions. You can give these agents a goal, like, hey, keep our inventory at the right level, and they can actually plan out the sequence of actions to make that happen, like automatically scheduling new orders when stock gets low. And then you have learning agents. And this is where things get really powerful. These agents aren't stuck with what they're programmed with. They can actually get better on their own by learning from their experiences, just like a customer service bot that gets smarter and more helpful with every single conversation it has.
Okay, now let's switch lenses. Instead of looking at how they work, our second framework looks at what they actually do, the business outcome they're built for. This is really the view you take when you're planning out your own strategy.
So where's the action at right now? Well, a study by Iconic found that the absolute runaway use case is for coding assistants. A whopping 77% of builders are using them. But it's not just for devs. You're seeing huge momentum for agents that generate content and pull up knowledge. This is not a niche tool. Agents are already shaking up core business functions.
So our third framework, this one's from KPMG, simplifies things even more. It's called the taco model, and honestly, it's a fantastic, super intuitive way for anybody, whether you're technical or not, to get a handle on the whole spectrum of what agents can do.
And what this model does so brilliantly is it shows you the evolution.
Agents start out as taskers, right? Handling simple jobs where a human is very involved. They grow into automators for more complex stuff, and then collaborators that act like these adaptive AI teammates. But the absolute pinnacle is the orchestrator, a system that coordinates multiple agents to handle incredibly complex workflows.
And that idea of an orchestrator, well, that's the perfect segue into what I think is the most important strategic shift happening in this whole space right now. The future isn't about deploying one clever little agent here or there.
Exactly.
The real game-changing value is going to come from creating entire systems of agents. These digital worker organizations where lots of specialized agents all work together. Think of it less like hiring one new employee and more like building an entire digital department from the ground up.
So, how does this actually work? Well, it works a lot like a human management team. You've got a high-level manager agent that takes a big, complex goal, breaks it down into smaller pieces, and then hands off those pieces to specialized agents. Those agents go do their jobs, report back, and the manager agent coordinates everything to hit the big objective.
And hey, this isn't just some theory, right? The biggest names in tech are already all in on this. I mean, just look at Microsoft's recent Build conference. The big headline wasn't some flashy new agent. It was the infrastructure, the tools that let you build and manage whole systems of agents that can work together. So, what does all of this mean for you, for your organization? It means you have to think bigger. You've got to move beyond just spotting individual use cases and start thinking about building a foundational capability.
And this is so important. To get the full value here, you can't just think about the agent itself. You have to build the factory that creates and supports them. That means getting good at this entire tech stack, from the data and databases that feed the agents to the absolutely critical tools for monitoring, evaluating, and tuning their performance. A real agent strategy is an infrastructure strategy.
So I guess this all boils down to one question, a question you should be asking inside your own organization. Are you just planning for single, standalone agents, or are you designing an entire agent system? Because the answer to that question is going to decide whether you're just making small improvements or if you're really going to unlock the massive, transformative power of AI. Thanks for watching.